So today we're going to be looking at University of Michigan practice, them practicing, looks like a inter-squad scrimmage of sorts. It's a 5-on-5. University of Michigan uploaded this. They're going over their matchups. So really it's a 2-3 zone that we're going to be looking at. So of course, if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know what to look for in a zone. If you haven't, I linked the complete 2-3 zone defensive guide as well as Merrimack's zone guide down below. But let's take a look at what we're seeing here in the zone. And remember, what they're doing here, it might look like a 1-3-1, but the only reason why is because, like, hey, you get into these 1-3-1 looks or 1-1-3 looks just to make sure you clog up the high post, right? So even though it looks like a 1-1-3 or a 1-3-1, really, we want to make sure that, hey, listen, we're going to be in our 2-3 zone matchup look. And what you're going to see is this. Remember, the guard responsibility is no easy high post, plug drives, contest shots. The wings that we see here, their responsibility is to not contest the three, but take away the three by coming up high, deny the corner pass, and get involved in any play. And of course, the goalie position is to, number one, obviously rebound and protect the paint. So let's see how they're doing it here in this practice. Ball goes here. Okay, wings come up high. Very good. See how that wing comes up high? That's very, very good. We like that activity from the wing. I really like that. Guard comes up here. Very good. Retreats back. Do some ball screen coverage. Wings talking. Very good on the ball here. And they're not going to have the guard over there. Yep, that guard comes up a little bit late. Too easy of a pass there. Comes up. And let's take a relook at this. So, would have liked to see the guard bump a little bit close here when it comes right here. Bam, comes right there. You want to see the kind of the guard bump here because why do we say that? Because really, what are these two guards doing if that doesn't happen? We want to bump it out because what happens in these situations, we usually have, yep, exactly what I thought, a baseline runner coming through. So you want that wing to get back into the play. Especially this high, you definitely never want your wing to really be on the ball for 2-3 seconds unless you're guarding a specific set here. And it comes up here, then this person should be right in the high post area, blocking that up. If not, then this wing should be probably sucked in way over here. But look at this. Because the wing was on the ball for too long, remember, we want to show and go back. He was on for too long, so this wing and this goalie get a little bit sucked in. They're out of sorts. They're out of sync. And because of that, we see this easy pass happen because the guard's not in position, the wing was in position, or because of one little breakdown. And again, this is why if you're not connecting the zone, this bad thing happens. Ball goes in the high post. We want to fan out and play man. Remember that. When the ball goes in the high post, we want to fan out and play man. And it's a lob play. Let's go. Get the ball inbound. Let's go. Yeah, that's right, coach. Let's go. All right. Again, it's practice, so not going to be great at this. Yep. 1-3-1 look, 1-3. It's probably going to be a 2-3 zone, though. Yep. It's going to be a 2-3 zone here. Wings here activate. Again, we know what the guard's responsibility, wing's responsibility. Let's see what happens here. We're guarding the ball here. Comes up high. You got to come up high as a guard real quick to at least as a wing. When the ball came out, this coach is saying it. That's right. The coach is saying it right here. As a wing, you want to come up and you want to show, get ahead up because if this is a great shooter, he's going to take that shot there. Little pass fake here, ball in the high post here. Yep, and again, when the ball goes in the high post, we want to play man. We call it fanning out, playing man, and the goalie would take 2 seconds and contest the shot. Or depending on that player, you might give him a shot if it's way open. He's like a Draymond Green type. And he just did the absolute worst decision there, really. Just take a dribble, power dribble it, or take a quick pass to the high-low. Because you had right here, they're probably going to go over it too. You had the high-low look there a little bit early. You just hesitated, so you had him. What you had him there is that with the high-low look, go it right away or make a dribble there. Don't just sit there and be like, okay, well, I'm not sure what to do. And again, the zone you want to play against those high players. Those players in the high post is players that you're not too worried about getting the high post when it's there. And the coach is going through blob defense. Let's shoot up the floor. Let's see what happens here. Good guard. Responsibility. Good. High post. What do we do here? We fan out. We play matchup. Wings are going to go down and play defense. Make sure we get paint first, which is this guy's doing right here. Close to the screen right here. You see him. He's coming down. He's got that guy. We're matched up. We're fanning out, and we're seeing what happens. We don't want the guards and everyone going around the ball. We do not want that to happen because then what happens? If you see my videos for you, 3-point shooters come arise and players get open. So what happens here? Number 3. What do you do, number 3? Is that going in? Yep. And exactly what you don't want to happen. Again, when the ball goes in the high post, first of all, the ball shouldn't go in the high post, right? We have number 3 here. It comes up here. We're clocking up here. And if that happens, this is a good touch by thing. But what that happens a lot that we see that Merrimack does a great job, other teams don't, is that as soon as this happens, you've got to be on like a lever system where that opposite guard's got to be flying into the high post. And also, when you're coming out here, you can't have hands down. Your hands, number 3, you got to be active. High hands, high up, be athletic. If you're going to close out, you're closing out where you're not, your body's not high, your knees are not knocked in high, but you're going to come out with your high hands right there. And his hands come out way too high here. Look at this other guard here. Look at this other guard here. Look at this guard right here, the other guard at the top of the key. Look at when the pass happened, number 2. When the pass happens right there, what are you doing? As soon as that ball's in the air, you got to sprint back to the high post if you're worried about the high post that much. And he does not get back in the high post. In fact, he goes to here, no man's land. It's like he's guarding a ghost right here. You want to get down to the high post area where not completely on top of him, but you want to have your hand at least in that area so it's not easy. And of course, number 3 has his hands up way too late. And because of that, an easy high post pass happens. When that happens, we're fanning out, we're playing man, you want to wait 2-3 seconds, and this guy's going to contest, the goalie will contest the high post. This one will go dive down here, and what you have is one of the guards probably come out all the way down here to guard, and we're playing man, right? But instead of that, we're coming in here for no good reason. And yeah, he turns the ball and he thinks he can get a swipe here. But when you gamble, that's not the gambles we want, though. The gambles we want is denying these passes so that he has to make a decision. We know this guy is not a great three-point shooter, great shooter, because he would have definitely pump faked and looked at the rim in a shot stance. And I could be wrong. Michigan fans can call me out on that, but that's kind of what I see from this player right away. Pass happens right there, and then a shot happens. It's a late contest. I'll give you guys that, but we got to see better defensive possession from that. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's do 1 or 2 more possessions. Very good. Active wing. Very good. Active wing here. Come over here. Good ball defense. Good job. Little pass here. It's okay. Pass back. Good. And this right here, guys, I'm going to say this. You guys might think it's weird for me to say this, but this is okay to happen once a game in the first or early first half, right? Because it's something where like the pass is happening way too far up here, it's high here, but this cannot happen a second time in this game, because if that happens again, it's because we got to see better ball pressure. We got to be more active on the ball, better ball pressure, and being in a more athletic stance. I also want to see your hands up way more. Guys, we're in a zone. I'm not going to say it's way better than a man, this and that, and I get a tangent, but you've got to work just as hard as you would. Man defense, zone defense. You've got to work hard in this defense. And right here, we've got to be more active with our hands here. Ball goes right there. That's okay. 23 is coming out here. Doesn't quite get it. Pass back. We rebound this. We try to. We don't get it. Let's see what happens. Close out there. And that's good. Good little stunt by 11, by the way. That's a good stunt by 11 here. If you saw this stunt happen, we're okay with that stunt right there. He stunts, comes back. And a lot of defenses, as you guys know this, I'm sure you've seen it from your teams. You've seen it from other YouTubers. Is a lot of coaches say at clinics is they're not going to help off the corner, whether it's man or zone. You really try not to help into the off a corner shooter off the corner a lot. That's something that a lot of teams have done in the last probably 10 years now. And one thing I will say is that the big thing about 2-3 zone is when you have a rim protector, like Syracuse used to recruit, it just makes when you get beat off these drives, you have a good rim protector coming over, showing late, hands up, and making it so right here, as you see, he's not going to look for that pass right there, or that shot. Be straight up. Don't have to be handsy on him. Was that a foul? He doesn't have to be handsy on him. Yeah, I think this player right here didn't have to be handsy, 2 hands on him. You just wall up, 32, just wall up, be solid, hands up, and you're okay there. I think that's what he's talking about right there, at least one of the things, maybe. Oh, we have and again, usually we're on Synergy, but we're not on Synergy because it's a practice, and Synergy doesn't have practice, obviously. Let's break it up. Let's see 1 or 2. Let's see what happens here. Let's see 1 more possession or 2. Pass back, almost like a 2-guard front here. We're back in it. We're active. And again, another thing, I didn't say this in my video, but you want to have wings show up high when the pass happens, is so that pass to the short corner is as easy as you guys think. Because you guys are thinking it's easy to make that pass in the short corner. And it kind of is if your wings are kind of slow to recover and not very active. Coming off here, ball screen action right here. Yep, again, the wings coming back here. Notice how, guys, very good adjustment. Notice how last time we saw this, right? The wing kind of was there and guarding the ball for like 3-4 seconds, right? almost 3-4 seconds. I'm not exaggerating it. But now look how quick he goes off of it, and we go off of it like this. What I want to see is 3 kind of dig down a little bit more to the high post area, because what this should happen is if we have a high post flash and a duck in, this could create some problems for the defense. But I like at least how they're doing this adjustment really quick. Very good. And again, you don't want to have your knee straight up like this because you can get drived on very quickly. So we want to be a more athletic stance here, a little bit better. Coming up here like a flat screen up, and we get caught ball watching here. And the reason we got caught ball watching is, again, guys, how many times have you guys seen me say this in NBA coverages where there is no need for a goalie to be that far up? I am assuming he's far up, right? Like, look where the goalie is. Does this goalie ever get down? No, he doesn't. Pick and roll is happening, that's okay, but what are we doing? We're in drop coverage. I understand that. But if we're going to be in drop coverage, we got to have someone protecting the rim. This happens all the time in the NBA where the centers are always far up. Their heels are to the free throw line or their toes are to the free throw line. That is far too up. If you guys have seen my videos, you know how ballistic I get, how pissed I get, because the goalies are just way too far up, especially someone with this type of length. You've really got to be protecting the paint. This lob should never happen because the goalie should be protecting the painted area, protecting the net. That's what the goalie does, and because they're far up, this happens. If you want to say, oh, we're in drop coverage, I understand that, but that is a switch off between the two guards that we've seen them do time and time again. But we have seen not just this team do it this instance, but we see this a lot in the NBA, and we see a lot of teams that don't really practice enough in the zone where their goalie just comes far too up, and it's just an issue. I understand this is a three-point shooter, but when this happens, the communication has to be a little bit sooner where, okay, ball screen happens right here, ball screen happens, how are we correcting? He should be, literally, this guard should be a little bit more 1 foot in the paint right here like we talked about earlier, right? And this swing should be far up so that if that pass happens, we're there, and the goalie should be down below because we're okay getting the ball to where it is right now. We don't want to get in the high post easily. I understand that, but that's where the guard positioning happens. That's where we're positioned a little bit. And because we know these guys aren't great shooters from the midline, we're okay with them taking the ball and waiting a second, either forcing a jump shot or waiting 2 seconds to get into our high post principles, which is fanning out. And again, this happens right here. A little communication a little bit late. And again, it's got to be, you guys have seen it. When you're not in position, you just get burned in the zone. You just do it. This is a very, it may not seem like if you're not used to the zone, but this is actually a very easy positioning error where, again, you just got to be in your places. If you've seen the zone videos before, you know this is a great adjustment they did right here. But after this, the guard's got to work back. Kind of no man's land. He's got to get back here into the area if you're so worried about the high post. And then this pick and roll happens, and of course we get burned off the lob there. But this is something that I'm pretty sure gets corrected literally after this possession. I think it's going to be fine. But that's kind of what we'll do for the video. We're going to end it there. But I hope you guys can see how mispositioning, especially not being practiced in the zone, especially compared to Merrimack's, is how like it's very different how breakdowns happen when just one person or two people make a mistake. Just like any defense, right? But in the zone, at least you guys have seen this and seen what happens when breakdowns occur, or some different things that kind of make the zone defenses kind of, hey, this is what you do in these situations. I think University of Michigan, I'm surprised they're playing some zone. I did not watch Dusty May's team. That's his name. Sorry if I mispronounced it, but I did not watch his FAU team that much. I thought he was like a motion guy on offense and defense, a good man-to-man coach. But again, we'll see if this is something that they're practicing. If it's 10 days into practice, and obviously it's something that they really want to do, at least in the first half of the season. We'll take a look at maybe Michigan later on down the line and see how their zone's doing. But we've seen a lot of good things. We've seen some quick adjustments, quick learnings, and then some things that they're just trying to figure out. But again, it's only practice, and there's a lot more practice to go where they can just get better or tweak some things. Guys, thanks for watching, and as always, keep your sights on basketball vision.